Hey, I'm David Collins, co-director of Proper Creative. Along with my business partner Jessie Bell, we delivered the Street Art Festival and most of the large-scale murals around the Northern Territory. The National Street Art Awards were just announced and Proper Creative had a win in 5 categories this year. Last year is the year we moved from the city and expanded out into the suburbs. The portrait by Mim and Caffeine down in Nycliffe, which is a real favourite of mine from last year. And her and Caffeine have been plotting this behind the scenes for a few years. We always wanted to work together and this was the year it sort of panned out. We've been working for the last few years with Katherine Regional Arts and the Department of Chief Minister in Katherine to do a portrait series there that's celebrating like really important figures in Katherine. So some of that was people that the Historical Society had put forward, inspirational Katherine figures. That portrait series there, it's the brainchild of Mooney from Katherine Regional Arts and her hard work with negotiating with the building owners. And in total, we must have about 30 murals in Katherine, which sort of goes unrecognised until now. No lane is safe from my mind when it comes to getting murals on them. I want to paint everything. West Lane and Austin Lane were the first ones that we started with. I think it's super important to keep Austin Lane, that side of Austin Lane, as an organic piece of street art. We have travelling artists from all over the world paint there, young artists, old artists, everyone gets in there, has a go. Saltwater Lane is 100% local. Borders were shut and thankfully we'd built capacity all those previous years, put people through tickets and help people learn how to paint big. So locals took over that lane and that's what sort of got us the recognition this year. Some of the big names that we got in there was Frank Goya, Chella Williams, we had Denise Quall, Polly Johnson, who's one of the original kind of painters from the Street Art Festival series. And then I think the big heart favourite for most people would be the Dion Beasley. So having a Cheeky Dogs and having Dion headline was just, amazing. The Vincent Gallery Memorial mural painted in Darwin City by Jessie Bell. This one we wanted to show more than just Vincent. We wanted that iconic photo by Brian Manning with Vincent and Goff, and also have a nod to all the other people that sat with him. That's why you'll see amongst the lyrics there, from Little Things, Big Things Grow, you'll see a lot of all his family and all the mob that sat with him, which was really important to shout them out. With such a big story and such a big wall, it needed to be a grayscale. It does justice to that story, and I think Jessie achieved that. Best entrance for the Gwala Daraniki mural with Tibby Quall and Denise Quall. That was along with Artback NT. And Proper sort of came on board as a consultant and a bit of a, brush hand. We had a couple of the boys out there helping them. But Denise doesn't need much help. She's a weapon when it comes to painting murals. She's there before us, leaves after us. It's a beautiful colour, that burnt orange, and I think it speaks to the territory. And it was nice to get some of the old language up there in that mural. It's nice to see the street art not just grow from Darwin to Katherine, but even as far as Tennant Creek and Alice Springs. We've been down there and painted with the Alice Springs Street Art Festival and the cool stuff they do there. This year we even piggybacked off the Alice Springs Street Art Festival and pinched one of their artists and chucked her in a car with one of ours, and they drove down the highway, painted about 6 long drop toilet stops on the way, plus Tennant Creek and Katherine, creating, I don't know, in my mind, it's got to be the longest street art trail in the country, if not the world, I don't know. Like, that's all done by the same people. Getting an award is real nice, and it's great to have recognition anytime you do anything, but I think the biggest part for me is the legacy we leave here in the territory. And people have told me it's changed the city and changed how they see the city, and the city was never really a tourist destination, and now I have people telling me when their family comes, they take them and do the art tour. I think 6 years ago, if your family came up, you wouldn't necessarily take them to walk the back lanes of Darwin City. Now we do that, and that makes you discover new businesses and see new things in the city and move around the city in a different way, and it's pretty cool to have that impact. Darwin Street Art Festival has an app. It's just called the Darwin Street Art Festival. It's got maps and everything in it, or the easiest way is probably going to the website and you'll see our stuff there. I guess the big one for us at Proper Creative and Darwin Street Art Festival is to thank Northern Territory Government, Activate Darwin, Ames Paint, Winnelli.